This is how they line up for round one. Dan Rowbottom for Cataclean, Plato Racing on pole position. Team Virtue's Tom Ingram lines up with him at the very front of the grid. Soft tyres for Rowbottom, the medium for Ingram. Soft tyres for Josh Kwik, who goes from a third, and Mikey Doble, who starts fourth. Fifth, Charles Rainford, another one on the softs, and then it is Tom Chilton. On the fourth row, Adam Morgan in the second of the Mercedes. Aidan Moffat lines up with him. Then you've got Gordon Shedden's Toyota Corolla. Dexter Patterson's Audi is ahead of Aaron Taylor-Smith, Toyota. And Ricky Collard back in the championship. British GT champion now at Team Virtue. Dan Camish, one to watch from 13th. Chris Smiley starts 14th ahead of James Dorlin, his new teammate. James returns to the championship. Newcomer Lewis Selby is next. Daryl De Leon got a 5-second penalty in the race to pole for overboosting. That means he drops to 17th. He is alongside Sam Osborne, but ahead of Nick Hamilton and Max Buxton. And then, to round out the grid, the one to watch in all of this, Ash Sutton. He starts 21st. We can pretty much guarantee he won't finish 21st, but how far up the order he's going to climb is going to be absolutely fascinating. Now, next thing, Tim, just to tick off the admin, is we've done tyres, boost, because for this, everybody is on the same, the maximum number of laps available under the regulations.
Well, apart from the tyres, it's the only race where everybody starts off with identical boost. After this race, it'll be down to championship position. So, in a way, it's the most even of all the races, but that just goes to show which car and driver combinations have got the real speed, and it'll be fascinating to watch this man at the back in his new Ford Focus Titanium.
Yeah, if you think that looks a bit different, it is. It's now the booted Focus. So, season 2026 is about to get underway. Round one of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship from Donington Park. 18 laps ahead of us. There will be 5 red lights that go on before they are extinguished to get things underway. Dan Rowbottom lines up on pole position. 5 lights on, lights out, it is blast off and a slow start. Tom Ingram is away like a stab rack to grab the advantage on the way down to Redgate, and Rowbottom is going backwards as Josh Kwik comes up to take second place. And look at Rainford, he's already through the pack, and Charles Rainford goes from 5th on the grid to 2nd-ish because he's run out wide on the inside. Josh Kwik gets up the inside to try to go back ahead of him, but look, Ingram is away and gone already. He's in a league of his own. It's game on for second place though. Kwik is ahead of Rainford, and Rowbottom from pole is down in 4th.
Well, it should be the soft tyre cars that get the best starts, but it was Rowbottom that just bogged right down. He had no speed off the line at all. I hope he hasn't got a clutch problem of some sort, but he really did bog down terribly. And as expected, Rainford in the BMW made a great start, but Ingram away with no pressure directly behind him.
So Josh Kwik 2nd, Rainford 3rd, Rowbottom is 4th, and Mikey Doble in the new Audi run by Powermax Racing is in 5th place, but Ingram's already over a second to the good as Rainford defends Rowbottom, who is now trying to rebuild his race. He's up on the outside line, the Mercedes really quick in a straight line. Rowbottom goes ahead, coming into the chicane, round the outside as well, and that's Adam Morgan in the sister car, getting up on the inside of Tom Chilton. You're riding with Gordon Shedden as they cross the stripe for the first time. Ingram leads the way by 1.5 seconds already.
Yeah, great first lap from Ingram, but what a lovely pass from Rowbottom. That was a man fired up. When you make a mistake off the line, you kick yourself inside the car, and he made up for it with a great round the outside pass into the chicane.
It's just been a very good Scottish battle at Redgate involving Gordon Shedden and Aidan Moffat. Aidan's gone through, and there you can see Gordon Shedden's dropping back a little bit. Dexter Patterson now coming up to have a go at him, but behind is Dan Camish up into 11th place, and Sutton at the end of the first lap was 13th from 21st on the grid.
Well, great drive by Sutton. We're not surprised, of course, and on the first lap you've got the most opportunity to make up places.
And he is absolutely storming as now he tries to have a go at Camish, who's crawling all over the back there of Gordon Shedden and Aaron Taylor-Smith, who gets a little bit crossed up then in the second of the Laser Tools Toyotas. Sutton mows the lawn on the inside. He gets past the Toyota, he gets past Camish. Brilliant move, and Sutton is flying.
Well, so Camish was into the back just slightly of Shedden, and then Sutton was into the back of his teammate, but he came through ahead.
So through they come. Sutton ahead of Taylor-Smith. Then now, number 50 this year is ATS, Aaron Taylor-Smith, because it's 50 years of Laser Tools rather than his usual number 40. That's his kind of brand number. Now, the lead gap has come down. Remember, it was a 2.5 seconds. It's 8 tenths now. Josh Kwik, fastest man on the circuit, and he is hunting down Tom Ingram, and he knows that he's going to have to defend that second place as well, because look, Rowbottom, he's crawling all over him, and Rainford is there as well. 3 for second now.
Well, that was on board with Rainford, with Rowbottom down the crater curve. He was very nearly alongside by Josh Cook, but had to back out of it at the pinch point at the apex. But yes, don't forget these guys are on the soft tyre. That's why they're just a little bit quicker than Ingram at the moment. But Ingram hasn't got to push his tyres too hard at the moment. He wants end of race pace.
Daryl De Leon getting involved with Ricky Collard. Bit of hit and shoulder between the two. Daryl De Leon goes past. Ricky Collard may not take kindness to that, so he will try to fight back, no doubt. Now, quick word about these soft tyres. They're quicker, yes. Do they last 18 laps?
They only last if you've got a very gentle setup on your car. And this being the first race, there's still a lot of guesswork involved. So some will get it right, some won't. Those with experience on the tyres, and that's really the BMWs. The others haven't had as much experience. So we'll see how they manage the rest of the race.
So Gordon Shedden, you see, rounding Redgate, battling with Tom Chilton. Side by side they run. Chilton goes back ahead. This is for 8th and 9th, this squabble. We've had a driving standards flag for track limits for James Dorlin as Shedden dives to the outside down to the old hairpin. Can he go all the way around the outside? Yes, he can. Fantastic move. That's brave.
Yeah, a wobble from Chilton right on the apex gave the opportunity for Shedden to get around the outside. He was very sensible at the old hairpin and left a little bit of room on the apex. Good driving by both of them.
Charles Rainford is flying as well now. He's done an absolute best in the first sector. Cook flying in the second sector. He is getting ever closer to Ingram. It was 8 tenths, then 7 tenths. It's going to be much, much reduced this time. Ingram, remember, on that harder tyre, the medium compound, being caught by that train for second, third and fourth. The soft shod cars of Cook, Rowbottom and Rainford. Mikey Doble is fifth in the Powermax Racing run out, and that's on the soft as well.
Yeah, so you could almost throw a blanket over those front four. Anyway, Doble not far away.
And Ash Sutton goes through 9th, and Ash Sutton's having a go for 8th on the outside of Gordon Shedden as they come down towards Redgate. Shedden with a puff of tyre smoke claims the place. Sutton tries to tighten the corner. There's a bit of a gap on the inside, but no, you don't, says Gordon Shedden.
Yeah, Shedden knew what was going to happen there, the cut back from Sutton, so he just held it a little bit on the apex. Wow, that's taking a lot on the inside. Sutton throws it down the inside into the old hairpin, and they'll come out side by side. If they're level all the way up to McLean's, it should be Sutton that claims it, because he'll have the inside.
The inside line for McLean's corner will translate now, and Sutton late on the brakes goes through, gains the place. That puts him up to 8th from 21st on the grid. Shedden's trying to fight back, but Sutton closes the door and defends on the run up towards Coppice. Dan Rowbottom is now being given warning flags about track limits. Needs to be careful, because the more transgressions you make, the more the penalties come.
Yeah, and remember, you have tactical use of the boost, because you've only got 10 of the 18 laps where you can use it. And if you're using it and somebody else isn't, it's a 60 horsepower advantage.
And at the moment, Ingram has not touched the boost. He's got all 10 laps available to him. Cook's got 8 left. Rowbottom's only got 6.
Yeah, I think Rowbottom used quite a lot at the start, didn't he, to recover a little bit from his poor start and gain some places. People tend to save them until later in the race, as Ingram is doing, but Rowbottom used some to recover.
This is Rowbottom's view as he comes then now out of the old hairpin. Your third, this is Dan Rowbottom.
Yeah, coming up the sweep. This is much more uphill than it looks on camera. You try and get around the left-hander flat out, straighten the steering so you can brake with even pressure across the front 2 tyres, cut that inside curve a little bit round McLean's. Then look how blind the turn is to Coppice. It's an absolutely blind turn, and then pick the apex up, the first one anyway, run wide on the second. Here you see it from the opposing angle, clip that first apex, or take as much of the inside as you can. And then you miss that second one as you come out onto the back straight. Now look at that difference. Cammish there looked like he's definitely on the boost that lap. See the advantage he pulled out down the straight.
Race leaders go through. Ingram to Cook is down to 3 tenths of a second. Remember, it was a second and a half at the end of the opening lap. Ash Sutton, fastest lap of the race. Remember, we now think about bonus points for leading laps for the fastest lap as well that we didn't get in the race to pole, the RTP yesterday. And Sutton is in 8th place from 21st on the grid. So Ingram, Cook, Rowbottom, Rainford, Doble, Morgan is the top 6. Remember that Sutton is now 4th of those on the medium tyre.
Yeah, well, I expected Sutton to get into the top 10 by the end of the race, but I didn't expect him to be in 8th place after 6 laps.
No, and he's not done yet, of course. So a very fired up Ash Sutton. Replay here of the next move as he tried to get past Aidan Moffat, and he does it, so he's up into 7th place now. Ash did point out yesterday that every year he's won the championship, he's DNF'd in the first race of the season. So let's see.
And as you would expect, he's used quite a lot of his boost laps. He's used 5, he's used half of his total amount of laps, but you need to use it at the start of the race to move places.
And there's a drama at the chicane because Josh Cook is off the road. Josh Cook is off the road, so that means it's Ingram leading. Rowbottom is up to 2nd. In 3rd place now it's Rainford. Doble is 4th. Morgan is 5th. Sutton's into the top 6 as Chilton and Patterson come through together. And Josh Cook off the road, and he's not rejoining. Now let's try and work out how he got there. This is Rowbottom's view. Cook gets sideways. Cook spins.
Now, that to me looked like a left rear puncture because the car was already sliding as he went in, unless he just went in too deep, got on the dirty part of the track and couldn't safe it. Safety car is out. The drivers will all be told on their dash and radio the safety car is out, so hold position immediately. But yeah, that was a strange one from Cookie because the car was going, it was oversteering as he went in. He didn't really make the apex, so he either had a puncture already or he just got on the dirty part of the track.
Well, you can see why he's not rejoined. He's well and truly beached in the gravel. And this is going to take a lap or two, I think, to get that car out of harm's way. Danny Buxton, the director of motorsport at Speedworks, Christian Dick, the team principal in the background, looking on, thinking, oh dear, or words to that effect, because that was a really good chance of a good result in this and a good grid position for race 2 gone. And in fairness, Josh Cook doesn't often throw a car off the road.
No, he doesn't. That's an unusual place to go, so that's why I suspected immediately a puncture. We could be wrong, or could be another mechanical problem, but we'll see.
Summerlock coming out of the chicane, he's already sideways, round it goes.
He actually didn't really impact the barrier, did he? It just got stuck in the gravel. But the here's another. It's another shot. This is from Rainford. Obviously, you've got Rowbottom in front. That looked very normal. The entry, very normal indeed. So I think he almost knew he had a problem. I think I'm going to put that down to a left rear puncture.
I was just looking to see whether there was any damage on the front right, whether he clipped the tyre stack and that had just unsettled him.
No, I don't think
you're
so.
going puncture.
Yeah, puncture. But yeah, fortunately he didn't hit the tyre, so no more damage. But these cars are so low, ride height so low on them, there's no way he could get out the gravel.
This is Rowbottom's
So
view.
this is another one. Now, I actually thought just now, let's just watch his line into the corner. No, it's quite normal, but the left rear looks low. I'm sure that was a puncture.
So we are under the safety car, and let's see whether we can drop in again on Charles Rainford while we're behind the safety car like this. Charles, that's been a pretty frantic first few laps. It's going all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, the car feels really good right now. So, yeah, hoping we can have a nice safety car restart here. Can't believe how fast Tom is on those mediums. So, fair play to Team Virtue there, but West Surrey have given me a great car here. So, we're biding our time a little bit there. Let's see what we can do in the second half now.
You've also got quite a lot of boost left. Another, 7 laps to play with. So, keeping it to the end is going to be useful now, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I had to use quite a bit at the start because we were all boosting it up. So I believe I've got a bit more than Rowbottom in front of me. So yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do anything silly because we all need points and points mean prizes. So yeah, we'll see where we go from there.
And what does a safety car period like this do if you're on the softs? Is it good because it gives them a breather and you can look after them, or does it hurt because it makes it a longer number of laps? What's the benefit or the disadvantage?
You know what? If you're a front-wheel drive car, I think you're loving it right now because I could feel the tyre crossover was just starting to happen and I was catching down quite easily. So, yeah, I would have liked it to stay green, but, I think the degradation should still be there. I need this sun to come back out, warm the track up, and then we'll be golden.
We'll see what we can do. Charles, good luck.
Thank you. Doing my sun dance this time. Thank you.
So, Charles Rainford there, currently sitting in 3rd place. We've mentioned Ash Sutton had done the fastest lap of the race. Now, this is great news for Ash, of course. Everybody bunches up ahead of him. Ka-ching!
Absolutely perfect. Just couldn't have been better. Do the overtaking in the first few laps, have a safety car close the pack out, pick off a few more into in the second. We're going to have a view of Rowbottom on. Just listening to the revs, it bogged down for ages before it lit up. So really poor start from Rowbottom, but this is part of new car trials and tribulations.
Good start by Rainford, but there you see Josh Cook getting back up the inside, making sure that he goes through. Rowbottom back onto his toes, so he was also able to get back past the BMW briefly, but then Rainford has the inside for the next part of the Craner curves and goes through.
It's on board with Rainford. Now you'll get a rear-wheel drive version. There's Rowbottom. Look how fast Rainford closed on Cook. He had no option but to dive to the left. He had so much inertia and momentum off the line. He knows he's got cars on his inside here, so he can't quite take the ideal line, but yeah, rocket ship off the line.
Confirmation that it was a left rear puncture for Josh Cook. So Tim, you were right, and the team's confirmed it. Josh Cook, left rear puncture. Where he got that from, we'll find out. But there is the sorry sight. There you can see the tyre off the rim, and Josh Cook's deflated chances of a podium in round one are confirmed.
Well, he's either been very unlucky and run over something, or he's had a little minor rub with somebody in one of the early laps, or even just kissed a curb at the wrong angle. Yeah, putting myself in the seat of the car as I saw it go off, my initial reaction was puncture. There's Marvin Humphreys, team manager, obviously of Ingram, hoping to orchestrate another win.
So let us see, because the safety car comes down to the chicane and we're going to go racing this time.
And there are 2 go boards this year. There used to be 1 go board. There are 2, 20 metres apart. The lead driver can go any time between those 2 boards. So it's up to him. You'll see the first one. Actually, probably not going to see it from our angle, but he's gone now.
So Ingram, still with many more laps of boost available than Rowbottom has, leads us back into racing. We're up to 21 laps because of that safety car period, and Charles Rainford is on the attack, but he's also on the defensive. Mikey Doble is there. Adam Morgan now up into 5th place, but look, Sutton in the first of the Fords is the other man to watch as they plunge downhill. Ingram is trying to get away while Rowbottom defends from Rainford.
Yeah, Ingram, good restart. Rainford forced into a slightly defensive move, but look, a great restart for Ingram. He's away already. He's been looking after his tyres all the way through. He's got 9 laps of boost left, so he's in a very strong position.
Sutton's about to go 5th around the outside of Morgan at Schwantz Curve. The inside at McLean's, job done. Ash Sutton for the podium from 21st is a real possibility here. Let's see if he can do it as they head up the hill then. You've got Rowbottom just gapping Rainford. Now Mikey Doble looking very, very strong indeed. Doble in 4th, about to have a go for 3rd place. Look, and he goes through, does he? Side by side, coming out of Coppice. Mikey Doble in the LKQ Euro car parts with PowerMax Racing Audi up to 3rd. Remember, that's another brand new car. All the focus has been about the Mercedes of Cataclean Plato Racing, but PowerMax have built 3 of them in-house on a limited budget, and they have gone so well this weekend. Doble up to 3rd. The other cars, Moffat is 7th and Patterson is 10th, all 3 in the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. We gave a bit of a big up to PowerMax in our pre-show at the start of the programme, and they're delivering on the track. The car just looks right. There's something absolutely right about the look of the car. The size, the shape, everything. It looks like your ideal front-wheel drive car, and they are really putting that on show today. So fantastic. And Mikey Doble, as Paul O'Neill said, very underrated driver.
Yeah. You have to go back to Knock Hill in 2019 for the last Audi win, when Jake Hill managed to do the victory in Scotland, and although that was in a different type of Audi, let us see what Mikey Doble can do over the course of the day, because he's getting stronger and stronger as the race goes on. There further back, Daryl De Leon trying to get past Tom Chilton, who's dropped back a little bit on the resumption of the race. Way out wide goes James Dorlin onto the grass coming out of Coppice, and towards the chicane the leaders will come then. So the battle here, look, is between the Toyota Taylor Smith and the curb-hopping Team Virtue Hyundai as they come over the timing line. Ingram to Rowbottom, 1.4 seconds on the green flag.
Sutton now up to 4th place across the line in front of Rainford as well, and closing rapidly on Mikey Doble and Dan Rowbottom.
So Sutton charging, still with that quickest lap of the race from earlier on, which nets a point. There you've got Sam Osborne, race winner, getting himself back past James Dorlin. I think it might have been Chris Smiley on the grass, in fairness. And a final warning for track limits now going the way of Aidan Moffat.
Ricky Collard coming slowly into the pits with a left front puncture.
So 2 retirements and punctures both interesting. There the Team Virtue squad will go to work. Ingram, meanwhile, for Team Virtue leading the way. Rowbottom is being caught by Mikey Doble, who was 1,000th quicker in Sector 1. and hunting him down as they go now once more down towards the chicane. So let's see what Doble can do about catching, and let's see whether Ash Sutton is able to catch the pair. Ash in sector 1 was fractionally faster, and so he was fractionally faster than Doble in sector 2 as well. So they're concertinaing certainly the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, lap time still very consistent. Ingram is able to lap in at 1 minute 8.7 as opposed to 1 minute 8.1 fastest.
Coming out of the right-hander of Redgate corner. Dan Rowbottom then second, having won the race to pole yesterday. In seasons past, as you watch there, Dan Camish get himself up past Aidan Moffat for 7th place. In seasons past, the man that got pole for the first race would also get that Goodyear Wingfoot Award. That now is like a Driver of the Day award, which is down to the fans' choice at the end of race 3. So it's up to you this year. There's Ricky Collard joining in again from the pits. He's got a lap down, but the mileage is useful, and you never know if anybody else drops out. It will give him another grid position. This is Ingram. This is your race leader. 1.4 seconds was the margin at the start of the lap, and he is still fractionally faster in sectors than Rowbottom.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Team Virtue changed all 4 tyres on Ricky Collard's car, or just the one punctured one, but if they did, it's a very odd feeling when you drive out the pits on one cold tyre.
Dan Rowbottom is on his final warning for track limit, so he's got to be careful here, otherwise there's going to be a penalty. That will get through to him from his engineer. Paul Ridgway, as you see Chilton and De Leon come through once more. This is the fight for 12th place as they go past the pits. So Ingram to Rowbottom is a 2.5 seconds. Doble is 7/10 back. Sutton 4th is 9/10 back, and they're diving into Redgate corner up the inside of Dan Camish, of Sam Osborne, I should say, goes Tom Chilton. Chilton trying to rebuild his race, but Osborne is the one that's actually making good progress.
Yeah, he has. He's made good progress. His other teammate, Lewis Selby, having his first proper touring car racing, was a bit shell-shocked by the shenanigans that went on in the qualifying race yesterday, but now he's into the thick of battle and running in 16th place, gaining some experience.
Sam Osborne is also on a final warning for track limits. Ricky Collard is back in the pits. Rowbottom goes a little bit wide, and Mikey Doble now is really giving energetic chase for 2nd place. Sutton's falling back now in 4th, in fairness. Looks like he's going to consolidate, and the podium won't go his way, but for 2nd, Doble is on a mission, and he's got time in which to do it, and Rowbottom has got 2 laps of boost left to Doble's 6. Advantage Doble.
Definitely, very definitely, and I think that's why Sutton's dropping back, because he hasn't got the use of the boost in these later laps.
Yeah, Sutton's only got 3 more laps, and we've got 5 laps of the race to go, so when he gets to that 3-lap tipping point, then he's going to be okay to use them. But Rowbottom now will have to go defensive. That further protects Ingram's advantage. 2 seconds, Tom is up the road.
Yeah, he's doing very comfortably indeed. Remember, he's still on that medium tyre. The next 2 cars are both on the soft, then Sutton the next one on the medium. But this is going pretty much as we expected it to do, with the pace of that Hyundai under Tom Ingram, engineered of course by Spencer Aldridge. They know exactly how to set this car up for the race distance.
Spencer busy looking after GT3 cars at Paul Ricard last week, a race in which Ash Sutton was driving a BMW, and you see Dan Rowbottom's new for this year Mercedes A35 come out of Coppice. Dan back in a Mercedes, of course. It was with a Sicily Motorsport Mercedes he made his touring car debut. Teammate then, as now, Adam Morgan. Sutton, if anything, is coming under attack. Rainford is coming back at him 4th place. You're looking at Doble out of the chicane, coming up towards the line. This is Charles Rainford's view, and look, he is right back on the tail of Sutton.
Yeah, look at that. And Sutton couldn't drive a more defensive line. He was on the white line on the inside there. Morgan joining in right behind. It's such a struggle with the 20 seconds of boost that you have now to use it over a car that doesn't have it. It's a massive amount of boost, and through goes Rainford. Sutton is unable to defend that with no boost available to him.
Yeah, Sutton has got 3 laps left. Rainford has got 3 laps left. Charles Rainford goes back ahead. Morgan 6th in the 2nd of the Cataclean Plato Racing Mercedes, and he's having a go at that Napa Racing UK Ford of Ash Sutton now. This, though, is for 2nd, and Rowbottom has got the Audi out of the Power Max Racing stable of Mikey Doble breathing down his neck. Doble has chipped and chipped and chipped away, and there he is now ready to challenge.
Well, Rowbottom has no boost left at all, no more laps, and Doble, this is like candy from a baby for Doble, and he has got 3 more laps of boost after this one. He's going to pull away. Great drive by Doble.
And so in the first championship race of the season, it looks as though the Audi may take second spot. Mikey Doble goes through, really impressive drive, really sensible drive as well, that letting the race come to him. Further back, Sutton versus Rainford versus Morgan versus the Camish Focus. Morgan up the inside of Charles Rainford, so the Morganator is going to go through, is he? Adam Morgan squeezes up the inside. He's going to be on the inside for Hollywood, and that's where he gets the job done. This is Rainford's view, and it's a Mercedes ahead.
Yeah, and as I said, Rowbottom hasn't got any boost left, but Rainford does. So again, Rowbottom's going to be really fighting them off.
Sutton has still got 2 laps of boost available. Dan Camish has got 3 laps of boost available, so he's not given up yet in his quest to gain another place, which is more points, which is also a better grid position for race 2, remember, based on the results of this one. So Tom Ingram is looking as though pole is going to go his way. The bonus point for the fastest lap to Sutton, the lap leading point Tom Ingram, and we are currently on lap 19 out of 21 as the leaders come through the chicane again. Tom Ingram gave us a taste of the pace of the Hyundai at Team Virtue yesterday, and it's translated into great race pace again today. So Ingram has just gone by, on to lap 20, 2 to go. Doble is 1.8 seconds back, and they've got 2 laps of boost each. Ingram can afford to just now measure this gap, can't he, and bring it home. Yeah,
absolutely. He's led every lap, and as usual, a lot of people leaving their boost right to the last minute, and then that cancels each other out if they're all on it at the same time.
But Rowbottom, as you say, without any laps available, should be secure in third because he's 1.7 seconds ahead of Sutton. So Ash will miss out on the podium, but 21st to 4th, that's not a bad effort.
No, great effort indeed. This is looking back from Rainford car at Camish, who was side by side at the start of the Craner curves, but couldn't quite get it done. He's got Aidan Moffat in the second of the Power Maxed Audis right behind him there.
So Aidan Moffat, who, like Rowbottom, was being warned about track limit abuses earlier on, still battling. Dexter Patterson in the third Audi, still in the top 10. So I think Adam Weaver's team will be absolutely over the moon about this debut.
Yeah, and rightly so. Yeah, great performance by all 3 drivers.
So Tom Ingram is about to start the last lap of this opening round of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship. He has gone over the timing line, a second and a half to the good. Doble is behind him in second place. Rowbottom is hanging on to third, although Sutton has used the boost and he's pretty much halved that gap. Rowbottom to Sutton is 7/10. It's come down markedly. I don't think Ash is quite going to get there in time, though.
No, but it was late race that Plato Racing were worried about the degradation on the tyres, and you're seeing it absolutely there. Sutton is closing right down on Rowbottom. Rowbottom's driven an excellent race, looking after his tyres as best he can, but Sutton is coming. He will go for it.
And he's going to get through anyway because Rowbottom has a 10-second penalty for track limits. He was on his final warning, so this is academic. Sutton is going to get third anyway, and Rowbottom, although he's defending, ain't going to finish third, however hard he defends, because 10 seconds of penalties will be applied to Rowbottom's time. It's going to tumble him down the order. Sutton doesn't have to make the pass.
No, the team should be telling him on the radio, because they'll have seen it on the screen. You don't need to attack him, don't need to risk being taken off.
But the checkered flag awaits. Tom Ingram wins round 1 of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship. Mikey Doble second. Dan Rowbottom is third across the line, but Ash Sutton will be third. Adam Morgan will be fourth. Charles Rainford fifth. Dan Camish sixth. Shedden, Moffat, Patterson, Taylor Smith, Chilton, Rowbottom 12th in the classification. From pole position, the first mistake was the bad start, and the track limit abuses have cost him dear.
Well, I hate to say it, but Rowbottom is a perennial track limits abuser, but that's really cost him. With the field so tightly bunched up together, he drops down to 12th place.
And Adam Morgan, who kept out of trouble, is therefore the better of the 2 Cataclean Plato Racing Mercedes drivers in the final order. But let's just not take anything away from Tom Ingram. That was a champion's drive again.
Yeah, he's shown that he has it, the car has it, Team Virtue has it. They're going to be hard to stop this year.
Absolutely. Right, so we've done the hat tip to him. Now can we have one for Mikey Doble? Brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, with the amount of time they've had with the car, it barely turned a wheel at the very first test at Croft. It made it out since then at Brands Hatch, but wow, what a performance. I can't give them enough credit.
And Ash Sutton for third place then.
Great drive, great drive. Used his boost very wisely in the early laps to make up as many places. He was fortunate with the safety car to bunch the field up in front of him, but it's nothing less than you'd expect from a champion.
you're right about being lucky. One school of thought is you make your own luck. So today it's fallen into Ash's hands to an extent, and that puts him, of course, third on the grid for race 2. So Tom Ingram takes the race win. Fantastic effort that, and for Tom, that is career win number 41. The last time, of course, he was a winner was in that final event at Brands Hatch last year. So just carrying on the winning ways. Excellent stuff. The winning independent, Mikey Doble, so he will be on the top step of that podium. And a good day for booted cars with the new Ford and the new Audi then chasing for second and third first time out. So our first race of the championship season is won by Tom Ingram from Mikey Doble and Ash Sutton to round out the podium. Adam Morgan fourth ahead of Charles Rainford, Dan Camish sixth, and Gordon Shedden was ahead of fellow Scots Aidan Moffat and Dexter Patterson, who were 8th and 9th. Aaron Taylor-Smith rounded out the top 10. Tom Chilton 11th, the time penalty for Dan Rowbottom put him 12th. Then it was Darrell de Leon from James Dorlin. Sam Osborne, the last point scorer, with Lewis Selby 16th on debut from Chris Smiley and Nick Hamilton. Max Buxton 19th with Ricky Collard, a retirement because of punctures and damage, and Josh Cook's puncture putting him into the gravel and triggering that safety car period. So the technical checks, the next part of the process for Team Virtue, for Tom Ingram. The TOCA officials check the ride height, check the weight of the car, and then release that back into the Parc Fermé area. So don't forget that in terms of the championship, you now have to count the points scored yesterday in the race to pole as well. It's a reduced scale, but points are scored nonetheless. So Tom Ingram now is 6 ahead of Mikey Doble, with Adam Morgan 3rd. Charles Rainford 4th ahead of Ash Sutton. The overnight championship leader Dan Rowbottom is 6th. Then it's Gordon Shedden with Dan Camish 8th, Aidan Moffat 9th, and Dexter Patterson rounds out the top 10. The grid for round 2 has Mikey Doble on pole position and Ash Sutton lining up with him. Remember, second in the end in race 1 from 21st on the grid. Charles Rainford starts 3rd and Dan Camish is 4th ahead of Gordon Shedden and Aidan Moffat, and those are the first 2 on the soft tyre. Dexter Patterson goes from 7th alongside Aaron Taylor-Smith ahead of Tom Chilton and then Adam Morgan. Dan Rowbottom 11th, Darrell de Leon 12th, he's on the softs ahead of James Dorlin and Sam Osborne. Lewis Selby 15th ahead of Chris Smiley. Then Nick Hamilton, Max Buxton, Ricky Collard 19th on the softs, and then Josh Cook 20th, Tom Ingram 21st. Definitely 2 drivers to watch.
Definitely, yeah. We'll enjoy watching that. We didn't mention Josh Cook, but of course he had that puncture and will be fighting his way forward from the back.
So to the grid they come. Mikey Doble to line up on pole position. What a weekend it has been so far. And a couple of hours ago, walking through the paddock, all of a sudden out of nowhere, Adam Weaver, the team owner, arrives with a massive grin on his face saying, "I'm off to get my winner's trophy." What? And the story was breaking. So it's been a tumultuous couple of hours in the paddock and quite a lot to unpack after that first race. So now we start to factor in these different boost allocations based on the results of that earlier race and how the drivers are going to play them. We did talk about the number of laps earlier on, but then everybody started with the same number and had to try to work out when best to use them. Now people are on varying lap numbers.
Yeah, very different. Those that did well in race 1 have far less to use in race 2. The maximum you can have is 10 laps of the 18.
Tom Ingram to the pits. Tom Ingram down the pit lane. Now this is clearly, he knew there was a problem because he'd managed to overtake a couple, but Tom Ingram trying to get to the pit lane. So in he comes, and Tom Ingram to the pits. We'll try to get to the bottom of it as we are set to go racing. It's round 2 of the championship. 5 red lights will go on. We're racing, and who makes the best start? It's going to be Charles Rainford, I suspect, in the BMW, who storms away. Good getaway by Chilton. Good getaway also by Adam Morgan as they go down towards Redgate for the first time. Bad start by Doble, so Rainford leads the way, but Sutton gets right into the back of him. Hurry up, Charles, he says, and he's going to lead coming out of the corner. Sutton is in the lead, and a spin in the background might be Hamilton who's gone around. Shedden gets up alongside Aidan Moffat, but a pox start from Doble. Hamilton is in the gravel. I suspect we're getting a safety car, and also off on the grass there. Is that going to be Chilton? It is. Tom Chilton toboggans back onto the circuit, and it's Ricky Collard, his teammate, who oh so nearly collected him. Josh Cook goes past. Wow, Sutton leads the way. Rainford is second. Doble is in third. We're going to get the safety car.
Safety car is out. We'll catch our breath and just reflect on that very exciting start. Ash Sutton, typically very aggressive, made a good start, but not as good as Charles Rainford for the second row. But then Sutton making that cutback into turn 1 Redgate, was so eager to get the cutback, he actually went into the back of a fast-starting Mikey Doble.
And there is a very disappointed Tom Ingram. Quick word with Spencer Aldridge, who's put his head inside the car. He's about to drop off the lead lap here, and that is effectively game over for Tom. He might be able to get back out and maybe, if other people retire, get into the top 15 for a solitary point. But big problems for Ingram. What do we read into this?
Well, that was a very resigned look in his eyes, wasn't it? He comes in the pit lane. They're not expecting him. It was actually one of the officials, I think, was just standing in the way, but his eyes just nodding and, okay, we are where we are, nothing we can do. That's very resigned.
But he's not yet jumped out of the car, so are they going to try to cure the problem and at least do an installation lap to see if it's cured? Max Buxton's in the pit lane as well, incidentally. Max Buxton's Toyota. Wonder whether he got caught up with Hamilton.
So watch the start. Watch Rainford on the left from the second row. Gets a great start between Mikey Doble and Sutton. Sutton made the best front-wheel drive start but couldn't match it. Sutton already has gone to the outside. He's going to spear back to the inside to get a cutback, but he's so quick. He actually makes a bit of contact with Rainford on the apex, but he still manages to get through with enough momentum before they get to Hollywood and the Craner Curves. Further back, this was Chilton we saw going off on the right, didn't we? Just got squeezed out. That's always a nightmare scenario because you can't stop the car and you know you're going to spear back onto the track, but fortunately manages to avoid his teammate in Ricky Collard. Yeah, he just lost the rear a little bit and that sent him wide, didn't it?
It did. And the pack goes past. He's back on the tarmac now, just avoided by other Hyundais. And the other drama was Nicholas Hamilton at Redgate. This is Rainford.
Listen to the revs. Perfect match of grip, clutch and revs. And away he goes. He's got that start absolutely mastered, hasn't he, Charles Rainford? And then wait for a little bang. Oh, just you heard it. I mean, Charles was very slow on the apex. He was trying to, I think, block out that undercut. And that made him actually slow off the corner.
And then that's the run down through the Craner Curves. Behind, you've got Chilton's drama. Max Buxton's trying to rejoin. You can see at pit exit, but we are behind the safety car. Nicholas Hamilton is okay as he walks away from the car. That, in turn, is being pulled out of the gravel. And we understand it's an alternator drama for Tom Ingram. So, alternator problems for Tom Ingram. Marshall's quickly sort out the trackside furniture. There is Max Buxton being given the all clear to now join the race. Right, let's try and find out more about all this. Louise has news from the pits.
Yeah, I've come down to grab a word with Tom. Tom, we're hearing alternator. Your day is just going from bad to worse, isn't it?
I reckon if the safety car stays out, we might be able to catch up. Do you reckon?
I hope so, for your sake. I mean, was it obvious right from the outset as soon as you took off?
Yeah, I lost power steering was going. All my screens and everything was starting to turn themselves off. So it was never going to fix itself. Unfortunately, some problems fix themselves. Other problems don't fix themselves. Alternators don't tend to fix themselves. So yeah, one of those.
So what are you doing? Changing the alternator and then trying to get out for a little bit of a test session?
Well, we need to see if we're still cheating like we were in the first race as well. Yeah, we need to see what's going on. Yeah. Just feels like it's one of those days that we've obviously had an issue in the first race outside of our control that doesn't affect anything but excludes us. And then we have an alternator failure. I nearly managed to run someone over down pit lane when they jumped out in front of me as well. So feels like one of those days.
Bad luck, mate. Fingers crossed for you. Let's go back to our commentators.
Lou, thanks, but we also need you, I'm afraid, Louise, to go to the Dan Rowbottom garage. We've just seen Dan pit. He's out of the car. He's walked off to the truck. He is not happy, as you can imagine. Something has happened not only to Ingram, but also to Dan Rowbottom. So you've got two drivers whose weekends are unravelling around them. Dan Rowbottom talked about that clutch issue off the line in race 1, but he has done only one racing lap. He pitted at the end of lap 2, so Rowbottom in big strife as well.
Yeah, the one to look for, though, remaining from the back, is Josh Cook. He managed to move up to 14th just on that first lap, so he has made good progress.
And there is Dan Rowbottom's Mercedes being worked upon. That's Nick Hamilton's Hyundai getting itself now away from the gravel trap. That'll be put into the paddock and then the road will be clear. So fingers crossed, we ought to be able to go racing very soon indeed. Race order. A safety car is in this lap, by the way. Race order. Ash Sutton is your leader. Charles Rainford is second. Mikey Doble third. Dan Camish fourth. Gordon Shedden fifth. Aidan Moffat sixth. Remember, yesterday we were getting excited about Ash being in the gravel. He'd be at the back for race 1 and dreadful start to his weekend. And here we are on lap 4 of race 2 and he's already in the lead of the second race.
Well, my favourite expression for BTCC is expect the unexpected. Well, we've had it happen to both our championship favourites, haven't we, in the space of two races.
And Dan Rowbottom, who led the championship overnight, ended up 6th after the amended result of race 1. So anyway, it is all a shuffling. Right, we'll get to Rowbottom news as soon as we can, but we're about to go racing, and it is Ash Sutton who will lead them into the chicane. Race distance would have been 18 laps, will extend because of the safety car, and Ash Sutton leaves it late before he pulls the pin. Now as they come up towards the timing line, we go racing again, and Sutton leads from Rainford second, Doble third. The safety car's helped him. Camish is fourth, Shedden is fifth. It's Moffat in 6th place as they dive down a red gate, and to the outside line goes Mikey Doble to attack Rainford, and he can't quite do it as Sutton now tries to build the gap.
Yeah, so they've got a clean restart. Sutton waited a little bit and just managed to hold that into the first corner, red gate, and now he's trying to stretch that gap. Doble sensibly, I think, just decided not to attack too hard on Rainford and risk a damage, but he's got plenty of time left in this race.
So the cars power their way through Schwantz Curve up to McLean's for the first time on this restart. We're up to 21 laps, and you've got Josh Cook still making progress. He was 14th, helped a little bit by 1 or 2 people retiring, of course, but even so, he's going strongly. He's into the points, and he wants to be in that top 12 to try to benefit from the reverse grid for race 3. Cook on the back of Collard, previous Toyota driver being attacked by Current. Sutton leads down towards the chicane. Second still Rainford, third is Doble. Camish fourth, and a bit of a gap maybe. No, Gordon Shedden still in touch in 5th. 6th, you've got Moffat. 7th is Adam Morgan upholding Mercedes honour, but over the line it is the Napa Racing UK Ford. Ash Sutton the leader.
Yeah, stretching a lead. We'll watch it. It's but 3/4 of a second at the end of lap 1. Should be watching for Shedden and Moffat. They're the first 2 cars on that soft tyre.
And Josh Cook then went over the line 15th. He actually lost a place on that lap to Ricky Collard, interestingly, but Collard is on that soft tyre as well. Down through the Craner curves they go. Sutton led at the end of the lap by just over 7/10 of a second. He's done the fastest lap of the race, and Camish gets through on the inside of Doble to go third.
Yeah, good move. Always a brave move on the approach to the old hairpin. You're carrying a lot of speed down the Craners, and it's never easy. Shedden is close behind as well, but this is the view.
And Gordon Shedden now has to go defensive because Aidan Moffat is right there behind him. The 2 Scots, they were going at it in race 1, they're going at it in race 2 as well. Then you've got Adam Morgan behind them. He's quietly and solidly getting on with the job, Adam. He's had a really strong weekend, although he did get that penalty. Not his fault, it was the overboost drama in race 1. Out of the chicane comes Ash Sutton, and he looks like he's getting away. Heads up towards the timing line. Second spot Rainford, third Doble, Camish, then Shedden, and behind him you were looking back a moment ago at Aidan Moffat's car as they come through. Leading independent is Rainford, and this is Gordon Shedden's view of Dan Camish having a go.
Look how close, tighter line Shedden, Camish takes on the way in to fling him out onto the inside. Very nicely set up.
So Camish goes ahead of Doble. Moffat's trying to get ahead of Gordon Shedden. They lean on one another. Shedden is sideways. Can he hang on to it at the old hairpin? So far, so good. That was the save of the day as he gets out of the corner. Doesn't lose track position. And right there behind him is Aidan Moffat and Mikey Doble. The 2 of them battling long and hard. Now, is Doble purely losing out because of boost, or has he got a problem? Because don't forget, he's only got 2 laps, but that's been a quick car all day, but certainly he's dropping away.
Yeah, well, he hasn't used any of his boost yet, so he could be a sitting duck, but yeah. Wow, that was a squeaky moment for Gordon Shedden. 125 miles an hour approximately when he's got a rear end contact, and he's trying to slow the car down and turn it into the old hole.
So over the line goes Ash Sutton. Second across the line, Rainford. The gap up to 1.5 seconds. Camish is third, and Adam Morgan's having a go now to try to get past Mikey Doble as they dive down towards Redgate. Morgan on the inside. The door is just about open for him, and Adam Morgan is going to be through, I think, because the road comes to him. He's on the inside line for Hollywood. Then they'll go down through the crane and curves. Daryl De Leon almost pushing Adam Morgan along. Morgan gets round the Audi. De Leon as well, and here comes Dexter Patterson to have a go at his teammate. Doble's dropping like a stone.
Into the old hairpin, there's 4 cars nearly abreast, and it's this. Doble really is dropping. Now, whether he's just not using his boost or he's got a problem, I don't know, but the pace is not there in that Audi, is it?
No, it's like he has got a problem, because on natural pace there's not much left anymore. Chris Smiley is now coming up to have a go. Chris having a much stronger race than he did earlier on in the day, which is good news for Restart Racing, last year's independent championship winning team. So they've paired off a little bit over those last couple of laps. We're on lap 8 currently out of the 21 as they come down towards the chicane once more. Shedden and Moffat battling. Morgan and De Leon battling. Dexter Patterson looking better than ever in the British Touring Car Championship. Part of that is the machinery, but he's getting better and better as a driver all the time, is Dexter. Good to have him on the grid once more. He goes through 8th. Aaron Taylor-Smith is in the mix for 9th. What about Josh Cook? He's 13th over the line.
Doble defending there from Smiley now at Redgate.
Smiley tries to get up the inside. Look behind them, that's Josh Cook on the attack. Getting back alongside Ricky Collard. You're a brave man to go around the outside of Ricky, but Josh knows that if he's on the outside there, he's got the inside for this corner, the old hairpin, and he's done it.
Yeah, smoothly through.
That's Morgan versus De Leon, and Adam Morgan was ahead at the start of the lap. We'll see whether he stays ahead as you look at the battle going on between Gordon Shedden and Aidan Moffat. Good to have Aidan running so strongly as well. Those Audis have clearly flown under the radar in the winter testing, but here they've delivered, and Morgan actually drops back. That's Dexter Patterson ahead of him. Guess what? He's in an Audi. Yeah,
Dexter Patterson, all 3 Audis going well again. I can see Bob Moffat hanging over the pit wall stand. But not only have they got, Powermatic's got obviously 3 great cars, they've got 3 great drivers.
Yeah, absolutely right. And we're seeing the best ever out of Dexter Patterson, I think it's fair to say, as the leader, Ash Sutton, remember him, goes by 1.6 seconds ahead of Charles Rainford. Dan Camish still runs 3rd, Gordon Shedden 4th, and on that little inset picture you're looking back from Flash's Toyota, the Laser Tools racing with MB Motorsport car. De Leon then out to 6th, 7th is Patterson, so Morgan down to 8th.
Yeah, down to 8th, but still in the fight.
One slightly quirky thing about this, Josh Cook's progress is not as stellar as you might have expected. Good battle goes on there between Smiley and Doble, but Josh Cook mired in 13th place, and he's not getting through the traffic.
No, in spite of them sort of queuing up amongst themselves in front. You thought it, but this is the penalty of no boost. It really is.
Well, Josh Cook has still 7 laps of boost available to him, so he's got it on his side to use. Maybe he's saving it until late in the race, but the danger of that is, as you can see here, gaps are opening up ahead of him, and it is Ash Sutton leading the way. Dan Camish 3rd. Now, we've not really focused on Dan very much, but in his usual fashion, he's quick, he's up there, he's banking points. So Napa Racing UK with a 1-3 at the moment. Charles Rainford sandwiched between them, and Camish might make it a Napa 1-2 yet. Look, Sutton builds the lead, but Dan Cam crawling all over the back of Rainford.
Yeah, usually if there's any bad luck going, it goes Camish's way, doesn't it? But so far he's just kept under the radar, but kept at the front.
And hopefully the bad luck fairy has stayed at home. So Dan Camish then comes through the old hairpin. He's been the runner-up in the championship in the past. He's been a race winner, of course. Donington tends to be his bad luck circuit. Remember a damaged car, remember the fire. But this weekend, he's looking for wood to touch. He's going nicely. Teammate Sam Osborne goes wide. Chris Smiley goes ahead of him, coming out of the old hairpin. And there you've got Doble versus Collard. So Mikey Doble is about to drop to 11th place.
It's not been a good race. We'll wait to hear from Powermax what the issues were with Doble's car in this race, but he's not putting up a fight, which tells me in his mind he knows he's got a problem, and there's no point in fighting a losing cause. So the race leader, Ash Sutton, is currently coming to complete lap number 11. He's done the fastest lap of the race, so remember, he's on for a win potentially. Fastest lap, bonus point. Lap leader, bonus point. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Good for the championship, even at this early stage. Yeah, you wouldn't have predicted that, would you, after the qualifying race yesterday?
Right. Yeah, that race to pole was not a happy affair for Ash. Meanwhile, there's more Napa dramas as Sam Osborne has a go at Lewis Selby, who's raced well thus far this weekend in his first outing in the championship. And right there behind them is the recovering Tom Chilton. Selby racing hard and trying to stay ahead of Sam Osborne. Look, as they come down through the Craner curves up from the mini challenge, Lewis Selby. Osborne's got the line for the corner. He's got the place. But but goes a little wide, maybe.
Yeah, Lewis Selby just wanting to pick up as much experience as he can in this first meeting, and repassing Osborne there on the exit up the hill through Starkey's and into McLean's. He said the racing and the cars are very different to what he's been used to in the Mini Challenge or Mini JCWs.
I suspect that's not a scoop.
That's
really
an understatement, I think.
Yes.
Chilton gets underneath Osborne.
Yeah, racing more competitive than elsewhere. Hold the 9th page, yes.
I think it was more to do with it. He thought Minis was cut and thrust until he got into a touring car race and realised that Argy Bargy was on level 10.
Tom Chilton through to pass Sam Osborne. That's up the inside of the chicane. Leaders are on to lap 13. 9 laps to go then now. Race order: Sutton from Rainford, Camish 3rd, then Shedden, Moffat and Darrell de Leon up to 6th. 7th is Dexter Patterson, Morgan 8th, Taylor Smith 9th, Collard 10th. Behind that there's Doble, Cook, Smiley, Selby, Chilton. That's how they started the lap to round out the scorers. But yeah, Josh Cook's still 12th, and I think he'll be frustrated, to say the least, with that.
Yeah, I think he will. He hasn't made as much. I mean, he has used a bit more boost because he's on 5 laps now. Remember, he started with 10. So he's used half of them, but not made as much progress as perhaps he would have liked.
That is Charles Rainford, still second, and Dan Camish close, but actually not for the moment at least, being able to make a move. And Dan's got more available laps of boost. He's got 4 to the 2 of Charles Rainford.
Well, that's I've been watching it. Unfortunately, you have to watch the boost graphic very carefully. And in the last couple of laps, Rainford used it to pull away from Camish, but that's going to come back to Camish, as you say, because he's got more laps.
And this battle that you're looking at is between Restart and Napa. James Dorlin back in the championship, 132, gets up the inside of Sam Osborne's Ford. We saw good things from James last year. Good to have him back on the grid, and he's just gained 16th place. Right, Lewis Selby, meanwhile, is still under attack from Tom Chilton, and as they dive down towards Redgate, there is a final track limit warning for Ricky Collard. Selby fends off Chilton as they come out of Redgate, down through the Craner curves. Lead gap 1.8 seconds, which is Sutton to Rainford. And then Rainford to Camish, second to 37/10ths of a second as we work lap number 14 here. Round 2 of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship from Donington Park. Adam Morgan turns there into the right of McLean's. Behind him was Aaron Taylor-Smith, and that is Cook making a bit of progress. He's got past Doble for 11th place, but this is not an easy race for Josh.
No, it's not. They haven't been able to pick them off. I mean, this is never a particularly brilliant circuit for the Corolla. It's the only hatchback in the field and a fast-flowing track that suits saloons and fastback cars, but he's making progress.
There's one Toyota 4th, there's another 9th, so, and this doesn't really mirror the pace that Josh showed early on in race 1. And the same is true of Mikey Doble as well, so you've got 2 perhaps hobbled cars there battling amongst themselves now, as we see the fight between Charles Rainford and Dan Camish dropping down the hill. That's for second place.
Yeah, you see that gap has now closed back up again. Whether Camish is using that boost or just has got a naturally faster car at the moment, not quite sure. I think Camish is using the boost this lap. He's going to go up the inside. He's going to be on the wrong side for McLean's.
Needs the switchback, doesn't need to try to go wide in and tight out. And is that what Dan's going to be able to achieve? Answer no. Up the hill towards Coppice Corner. All of this means that Ash Sutton's driving further away up front.
But Camish will have another big boost of minimum, I think, of 5 seconds to use, which is worth 60 horsepower. Let's see if it's enough to get him past here. Rainford goes defensive, and then there'll be another little blast towards the flag, or towards the the finish line.
Here they come, and Charles Rainford stays ahead. This is where you need that last squirt of extra boost up to the timing line. Through they go. They almost overlap. The margin between Rainford and Camish, 98 thousandths of a second. And Camish round the outside before the corner. Good move. And look behind them. Gordon Shedden's closing fast, but Rainford's on the attack coming out of Redgate. Up the inside he goes, and Charles Rainford on the boost has the inside line for Hollywood, the outside line for the first part of the crane as Camish fights back and he retakes the place. Great racing between the two, but look behind them. Shedden is almost there.
Yeah, that was really good racing. It was a great defence put up by Rainford, and then great attack back again on Camish. That battling between them has allowed the soft tyre Shedden, the quickest of the soft tyres. He's got Shedden, Moffat, Leon. They're all on softs in 4th, 5th and 6th place to catch them up.
Here they come to Coppice then. So new second place driver Dan Camish. Can Charles Rainford manage to keep the car third to the end with the pressure being applied from Gordon Shedden? Not that far behind is Aidan Moffat. Then Daryl De Leon in sixth. And while all that's been going on, don't forget Rainford, of course, is an independent driver this year, leading that category.
On board with Shedden coming out of the final chicane, across the line. Little bit of a Rainford pulling away there, so whether he's on the boost or not, I think he is, yes.
Yeah, he's used another lap's worth, hasn't he? Right, so Rainford rounds Redgate, trying to hang on to the position. Gordon Shedden's got 4 laps available. He's got more boost than anybody ahead of him.
Yeah, so he's played his cards very well, hasn't he? We wondered why he was keeping his powder dry early on, but he saved it till now.
And Tom Chilton still has 5 laps available. Mikey Doble has used all of his boost, so he didn't have much to start with. I'll grant you only 2 laps.
Well, just to point out that black and white warning flag has gone out to Ash Sutton, the leader. Despite his 3.5 second lead, he's had the black and white warning flag, so he can't do another transgression.
There is, in replay, Aaron Taylor-Smith losing out to Ricky Collard. That's for 9th place. Good to have Ricky back in the championship, British GT champion in 2024. And here is Ash Sutton, the race leader, coming up towards the line. The final warning on track limits now, though, is to Dan Camish. So you talk about Sutton needing to behave. Dan needs to be even more careful. And there the message getting through from the engineers in the pit bunker to say to Dan, right, just rein it in, just bank the points. And here, for 3rd place, Gordon Shedden has a late look to the inside. Charles Rainford closes the door, but Gordon applying pressure now.
Yeah, the teams are told which turn it is. It's turn 1 predominantly, looking at the official scoreboard from messages from race control, which is now on its 2nd page, I might tell you. But yeah, turn 1 seems to be the point where most people are transgressing, which is the exit of Redgate.
Now, the race leader, Ash Sutton, has 3.7 seconds in hand. What was it Tony Carosa, his engineer, told us a few years ago, that if there was a situation he didn't want Ash in, he'd just say safe or something like that. That would be the word to use to calm him down. And that's sort of hovering about now for track limits, because a black and white flag is a warning. After that is a final warning, and then there's a penalty. So Ash hasn't quite got to that level yet, but Tony Carosa does not want him to get there, as you see Shedden and Rainford arguing over 3rd, with Moffat catching back up and De Leon in the mix as well.
Yeah, oh, big exit from Shedden, cut across the inside of the curb. Is it going to be enough? Has he got boost? Is he using it?
So Rainford goes defensive. Here comes Moffat, really looking feisty, but Shedden goes around the outside, and that gives him 3rd. Down to 4th drops Charles Rainford. Aidan Moffat right there as well, coming out of the corner on the inside line. This is a rejuvenated Aidan Moffat, isn't it? The drive is back in him.
It's the thrill of a good car.
Yeah.
It's the thrill of a good car. Brings out the best in a driver.
Through he goes on the inside line. Moffat goes through, and De Leon going to get past Rainford as well. Daryl De Leon, BRDC Superstar, the young driver talent programme. He goes through. You saw the boost light on there, so he gets ahead of Charles Rainford, who is almost at the end of his boost allocation. And the net result of that is he has dropped back to 6th place.
It just shows how effective this boost is. I mean, it really is a push-to-pass button, isn't it?
It is indeed, but the strategy is when you use it. And, of course, these differing levels. So the better you do, the less boost you get, whether it's from championship into race 1 or results from race 2 into race 3. And on what we've had so far, race 3 is going to be absolutely sensational, isn't it?
It's going to be a cracker, isn't it?
Out of the chicane, they all come. Ash Sutton goes through with 2 laps to go now. And the next driver to look for is Josh Cook, looking for a way past his near teammate Aaron Taylor-Smith. They're all run out of the same stable at Speedworks Motorsport, one under the Speedworks Corolla Racing banner, the other out of the Laser Tools with MB Motorsport stable. Aaron Taylor-Smith on the inside, a guy that works so hard for his racing, and Josh Cook, still underrated by some, class act, looks at the inside, tries to prise open the door, and he should be able to go through as they get to the top of the Craner curves. Josh Cook into the top 10, but this has been a slog for him, and he's not done yet. He's not secured the place.
Not yet, but he has now,
no.
As long as he gets a good exit from the old hairpin and doesn't lose time. Aaron Taylor-Smith is coming back at him, but I don't think he'll have quite enough on the run up to McLean's.
And one more lap to run at the end of this then. So Josh Cook, it's been a tough day for him. Gordon Shedden then into the top 3, and he is not done yet as he tries to close a little bit more on Dan Camish. So Sutton, Camish, Shedden the top 3, all with 2 laps of boost remaining. So that sort of balances it with 1 lap to go. Here's Ash Sutton over the line. how quickly things change in the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship. Over the line he goes.
Yes, I'm not sure he probably predicted this when he started at the back this morning, or certainly when he was in the gravel after the qualifying race yesterday. But it's a perfect haul of points, the win, the fastest lap and the leader lap.
Absolutely, it is just the perfect race. And just to make it better, other people he's up against in the championship, Dan Rowbottom doesn't score, Tom Ingram doesn't score. So it's a good haul for him. And then there's an even bigger gap because some of those other rivals, those quick guys, aren't finishing, aren't scoring. But race 3 is going to be intriguing.
And the first win for the new shape Ford Focus Titanium.
So a first yesterday for a Mercedes A35, the first earlier on for the Audi, a first for the Ford. What other firsts can we have later on?
Oh, goodness me. Well, that's all the new cars covered anyway.
Yes, we need somebody to have their first win. Here they come then, down for the last time to the chicane, headed by Ash Sutton, and he is going to be a race winner. He is going to be a race winner for the 48th time in his career, and he flicks out of the chicane, checker flag at the ready. It's a win in round 2 for Ash Sutton. The Ford Focus Titanium crosses the line to win at Donington. Dan Camish second, Gordon Shedden third. Fourth goes to Aidan Moffat, Darrell De Leon fifth, Charles Rainford sixth, and then Dexter Patterson will be a fighting seventh. Ricky Collard set for 8th. 9th goes the way of Adam Morgan. Josh Cook 10th, ahead of Aaron Taylor-Smith, Chris Smiley, Tom Chilton, Mikey Doble 14th. Lewis Selby is in the points 15th at the end of a really, really good race, and a very happy Tony Carosa celebrates with the rest of the team. That's Tony facing you. And that's the man he looks after. Ash Sutton then takes the win. There'll be a very happy Pete Osborne as well, the man behind Alliance Racing, the team that operates Napa Racing UK. It was a big decision last year to do something different. Well, it's paid off. Fastest lap leader point, race win for Ash Sutton.
Well done, and it's interesting that they've toyed with several different other cars to make, but the rule change from TOCA, which allowed you to use any car sold anywhere in the world by the manufacturer, even if it's not sold in the UK, allowed them to adapt their Focus hatchbacks into the Focus saloons.
And all of that done in consultation with engineers, drivers, and it's been a successful decision. Round 2 of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship won by Ash Sutton, Dan Camish, his teammate, his runner-up, and Gordon Shedden third ahead of Aidan Moffat, Darrell De Leon and Charles Rainford. Shedden coming home victorious in the independent contest in the end. Outside the top 6, Dexter Patterson was 7th, Ricky Collard up to 8th ahead of Adam Morgan, and Josh Cook 10th from the back of the grid. Aaron Taylor-Smith 11th ahead of Chris Smiley, then Tom Chilton, and Mikey Doble struggling 14th, having won race 1. Lewis Selby, the last point scorer, ahead of Sam Osborne and James Dorlin. Max Buxton was a retirement, so too was Dan Rowbottom. We lost Nick Hamilton into the gravel, and Tom Ingram never got into the race with alternator dramas. So that has certainly turned championship positions upside down, and it means that Ash Sutton and Dan Camish are the top 2, 8 points between them. Charles Rainford's 3rd ahead of Gordon Shedden, Mikey Doble 5th ahead of Aidan Moffat and Dexter Patterson, with Adam Morgan, Aaron Taylor-Smith and Darrell De Leon rounding out the top 10. Ricky Collard on pole for race 3. Dexter Patterson second on the 1x1 stagger. Then you've got Charles Rainford and his teammate Darrell De Leon, with Dexter Patterson on the soft tyre, the first of the softs on the grid. Aidan Moffat, Gordon Shedden have an all-Scottish 3rd row. Teammates Dan Camish and Ash Sutton have an all Napa Racing UK 4th row, ahead of Adam Morgan and then Josh Cook, both of whom have had solid days in terms of pace. Aaron Taylor-Smith starts 11th ahead of Chris Smiley. His main aim just to get up the order as much as he can, he said. Tom Chilton is next, then the race 1 winner, Mikey Doble, for 14th on the grid. Balance issues upset the apple cart in the earlier race. Lewis Selby is 15th, then you've got Sam Osborne, his teammate, starting alongside. James Dorlin is next, ahead of Max Buxton, and then on the 10th row of the grid, Dan Rowbottom with a new engine. Nick Hamilton should be there, and then it is Tom Ingram to round out the grid. And Nick Hamilton, it is starting from the pit lane. So remember, that car was in the gravel in race 2. They've been working to make sure all is good, and Nick Hamilton will go from the pits once everybody else has headed into Redgate. What that does mean is he loses the chance of a warming up lap to get warmth into the tyres.
Yeah, which is very useful. It's actually 2 laps. It's the going to the grid and then over, and then the formation lap. What can Ingram do from the back? full boost, soft tyres. What's your prediction, David?
Top 10,
Definitely.
maybe top 6.
Yeah.
Podium, depends a little bit. Safety car would help him.
Definitely.
Yeah. But you saw what Ash Sutton could do from the back. Quick driver, quick car, soft tyre. It's going to be worth watching. Wherever you look, it's going to be worth watching, whether it's at the front or Ingram coming through from the back. So, and Dan Rowbottom as well. Also, if the car is behaving itself, if it's healthy, then he's going to be one to watch as well. Right then, the grid is formed. Can Ricky Collard take a maiden victory and keep one this time around? We'll find out, because we're about to go racing. It is round 3 of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship. 18 laps are ahead of us. Collard on pole. The lights go out. We go racing. A really good start by Daryl De Leon then in the BMW. Not a great start by Dexter Patterson, but Ricky Collard leads them down to Redgate, and he tries to defend. Then as they get to the corner, turns into Redgate with the BMWs running second and third. Rainford and De Leon going ahead of Patterson onto the top of the crater curves. Aidan Moffat gets out his elbows, and around goes Lewis Selby. He's way all over the grass. He's going to tumble down the order, but thankfully I think contact has been avoided as the race leading Ricky Collard arrives at the old hairpin ahead of Rainford and then De Leon.
Well, I have to say Ricky Collard might have been out of the championship for a little while, but he absolutely nailed that start on the front-wheel drive car. He lit it up and flew. Obviously, the BMWs are coming at him now, but he really made that start excellent.
Ash Sutton then looking for a way to get past Dexter Patterson on the way up the hill. So Ricky Collard on maximum available boost. Charles Rainford second. He has 6 laps to the 10 of Collard. So Ricky has got more boost to use to try to pull away. Rainford needs to be really savvy about how he deploys his allocation of extra boost.
Well, it would pay Rainford to try and get away with Collard if Collard has got the pace at the moment. If Collard backs him into the pack, then he should try and get past.
End of lap 1. Ricky Collard leads race 3 then ahead of Charles Rainford second. Third is Daryl De Leon. Fourth is Ash Sutton. Fifth is Dexter Patterson. Aidan Moffat is 6th. Dan Camish is 7th. Adam Morgan is 8th. 9th is Gordon Shedden. 10th is Aaron Taylor-Smith. Rowbottom is 18th. And Ingram 17th as they came over the line. This is Ingram's view.
Out of Redgate, very tight up the inside of Osborne. We'll see when they get to the craners if Ingram's got through.
Change on lead. Rainford through on the inside. Gets ahead of Ricky Collard. So good move that by Charles Rainford. Let's see if he can get away. Looks as though he can. Collard on the boost there, trying to go after him, but that BMW's got good speed.
It has, and normally in these sort of slightly cooler temperatures, the BMW takes a couple of laps to get its tyres up to temperature and pressure, but Rainford's been, look at this, comes from a long way back. That was a long way back, but he stops the car very nicely. That was a brave move, because it's the front tyres on the BMW that are the coldest, so fair play to Rainford.
And there are lots of other battles going on up and down the order. Lewis Selby did recover and is in 20th place. Nick Hamilton behind him, having started from the pit lane as the field funnels through the chicane again. So up towards the end of lap number 2, Rainford, Collard, and then Sutton third. And that leading 3 covered by 7/10 of a second. Sutton has just done the fastest lap of the race. Collard back up the inside of Rainford. He's up the curb. He leans on the BMW. Elbows out. Ricky Collard is back through. Here comes Sutton up the inside. Can't get past Collard. Can't go the other side. Rainford's in the way. 3 for the lead as they go down through the crater curves. Rainford is back in the lead. He's done it. Collard's still going for it. Back up the inside. Through he goes. Here comes Sutton for second place. Fantastic racing. Collard doesn't know from which car to defend, but he still leads.
He still leads, and Sutton is going to get around Rainford here into McLean's. Well, welcome back, Ricky. We've missed this sort of driving. He just never gives up, does he?
Don't forget, the last few years have been largely GT cars, so longer races, 1-hour events, 2 hours, 3 hours in British GT. He's also, on occasions, been in the Endurance Cup in GT World Challenge Europe. So these sprint races, dialing himself back into a totally different style of racecraft and a front-wheel drive car to boot, and being able to play with the turbo boost. Into the chicane he comes then. Flicks through the chicane. That's Dexter Patterson getting involved with Sutton. There's contact, and Ash hangs onto a big slide. So over the line this time, it is Collard back in front. It's Rainford second and Sutton third, and then everybody else for fourth. Look, as they dive into Redgate, seemingly you've got Adam Morgan at the back of the pack. There's Patterson on the outside. There's Camish on the inside. You've got Rainford's teammate De Leon involved. You also got Aidan Moffat. Morgan's got 2 wheels on the grass going down towards Hollywood. He's ahead of Daryl De Leon, I think. Now everywhere you look, every corner, there's a change.
And the problem that Sutton has got is he's only got 1 lap of turbo boost to use in the whole race, having been as a result of winning last race. So this is why he's struggling. The advantage of boost on for 20 seconds over a lap, and it's about 60 horsepower. It's like taking a gun to a knife throw.
Right now, you've got Tom Ingram up into 13th place, and he's still building on that. Car's going up towards Coppice then, and there's Ingram having a go at De Leon, and Shedden gets up the inside, and there's contact. Ingram avoids it. There's more mayhem breaking out. De Leon gets attacked there by Chilton. Josh Cook, I think, was involved, and Daryl De Leon's BMW looks rather second-hand. He's got damage on the right-hand side. Chilton's got front damage, and he's bringing one of the advertising hoardings back with him, so the car's going to overheat if he's not careful. Up the inside goes Chris Smiley. He's got his teammate James Dorley there behind him in the two black Restart Racing Hyundais. Chilton's heading for the pit lane, and this is where it all kicked off, Tim.
Well, they're right across the grass, and that was contact there. Oh, nasty sound of metal being crunched.
That was Shedden getting involved with De Leon, and round the outside of it went Ingram. He had a charmed life there. He could have very easily become entangled in that. Ricky Collard is still leading. Rainford is second. Sutton third. Camish fourth. Now, Dan Camish has now got no laps of boost left. He's used all of his already. Collard's got 8, Rainford's got 4.
I mean, on the laps when none of the other cars are using their boost, the Napa cars are as fast, if not faster, than anyone else. But as soon as they use their boost, they can't fight against them.
Fastest lap of the race, Tom Ingram. He's up now to 9th place. Well, we said the top 10 was on the cards. And now, look, he's at the back of the queue because he's sitting on the tail of Adam Morgan's Mercedes as they come down towards the chicane. That was Moffat getting involved, but they've all sorted themselves out. Sutton at the moment is the cork in the proverbial because as they come out of the chicane, Camish is right there behind him. Then you've got Moffat with Rainford, with Patterson, with Morgan, and Ingram. Ingram for the podium. Could it be on?
Could definitely be on the way these guys are fighting, and you know, remember, he's got more boost than most of them in front.
So they round Redgate Corner to the top of the Craner curves once more. This is Tom Ingram's view. That's Adam Morgan ahead of him. Hyundai chases Mercedes. Up front, Collard is now 2.5 to the good.
Yeah, Ingram has 6 laps of boost left, and no one else in front of him has more than 4. And in fact, Camish and Moffat have none.
And that was Dexter Patterson having a look to get past his teammates.
On board with Ingram.
It is, and Morgan is level with Rainford. Bit of hip and shoulder between the two of them. Ingram is looking to try to send it up the inside at the first opportunity. Morgan needs to get past the BMW first. The run up towards Coppice now. They're still side by side. You can tell it's race 3, can't you? All the little biffs and bangs that go on between them. They're still side by side. It's like a rolling start, this. They come through Coppice. Ingram now possibly to use the boost down to the chicane. Rainford is on the boost. Look, he checks out and gets back ahead of Morgan. There, demonstrably, is how much the boost works.
I mean, that was a clear example of the difference it can make. You can't fight against that as a driver. It's just massive.
Morgan comes up towards the timing line. Lewis Selby, by the way, has done the fastest lap of the race. He's had a pit stop. He's in clear air. That's Mikey Doble rejoining. Topsy-turvy day for him as well, isn't it, as the leaders go to Redgate. Lead gaps come down. Collard's only 6/10 up the road now. Sutton might be having to fend them all off, but it's spurring him on.
Yeah, look at Ingram. He must be on the boost to go around the outside of Morgan at that point of Hollywood. So this is a lap he's using it. He'll want to get past Rainford as well on this lap to make use of it.
And he has cleared their place, so the next target is, as you say, Charles Rainford. He's got past Morgan. Morgan is under pressure now from the Toyota, and that's Josh Cook rejoining, so he's had a pit stop. It's been a tough day for Josh. That puncture in race 1 certainly done for him. So many of the star drivers have had their travails and have had to rebuild their weekend accordingly. Ingram is being warned about track limits, and Collard's advantage was down at the start of this lap to just under 7/10 of a second. We are on lap 7 out of 18.
But Collard's got massive 8 laps of boost left. He's only used it on a couple laps, so he's got loads left to defend.
Don't forget, this is the first time Ricky has been at an event where the extra boost, rather than the hybrid of years past, is, though he's probably forgotten what to do with it all. Down they come towards Redgate Corner, and the gap is certainly coming down, 6/10 now.
Yeah, and that was Ingram getting past Rainford into the chicane, and in actual fact, Morgan's got through as well on the exit.
Rowbottom, in the meantime, is 12th in the other Mercedes. This is Rainford's view. He's had a strong day, hasn't he? Charles Rainford as well. Down through the Craner curves they go. Behind Rainford is the Taylor Smith Shedden Toyota Battle Pack, and then Sam Osborne in 11th place. That's Shedden's view. Teammate ahead, and Chilton's woes continue because there's now bodywork fouling a tyre. and he's heading for the pit lane once again.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be retirement this time.
Right, we're on for the lead battle. Look, Sutton may not have got very much boost. He's used 1 lap, but he's doing this on pure pace, and he's about to have a go at Collard, even though Ricky has got 7 laps worth of boost left. Look at the natural pace of that Ford.
Yeah, and that's what I said. On equal basis, that Ford is as quick, if not quicker, than anything else.
To the chicane they come, then into the braking zone, nose to tail. So it's Hyundai leading. There's another one. Chilton's comes down the pit lane, incidentally. Out of the chicane they come. In the background, look, you can see Aidan Moffat, who's had a good day as well. Really solid races all the way through the day. From Aidan, the 6th, the 4th in the earlier races. He's running 4th now. Leaders into Redgate. Sutton looking to attack Collard. A tighter line. Collard goes wide. Sutton leads. Coming out of the corner. Ash Sutton leads. Race 3 at Donington.
Well, it's not over yet because Ricky has a lot of boost to use.
But Camish, if he can get up and attack Collard for 2nd place, that will release Sutton because Collard's going to have to defend. So right now, as far as Napa Racing UK are concerned, for Sutton to have a win, Camish is their big secret weapon.
It is their secret weapon, and I hate to keep going on about the boost, but it's such a factor in the race. But Camish has no boost left.
This is true, but if he's got the same pace in the car as Sutton had, can he therefore catch Collard? We're about to find out. Ricky is right back on the tail of Ash, isn't he? Looking now to try to use the boost to get back into the lead as they come down Starkey Straight. Behind Dexter Patterson is Tom Ingram, and the Team Virtue Hyundai looking strong. He's close enough, not quite close enough to have a go as they drop to the chicane. And nor can Collard have a go at Sutton there on the run into the braking zone.
No, look at the way that Hyundai flicks through the chicane. The change of direction on that car is absolutely fantastic, and Ingram is alongside Patterson almost before they're out the corner.
And a little bit of hip and shoulder in the background. Looked like Sam Osborne getting involved with Aaron Taylor-Smith. Sam having got himself ahead of Gordon Shedden. Remember that Sutton is on that soft tyre, and that's another reason perhaps why he is quick. Collard is on the medium, and the softer tyres now perhaps just proving to be the stronger, with Camish there as well looking for a way round.
Yeah, good observation. But Collard is he's still doing a fantastic job. He's still only 0.3 behind as they cross the line.
Now this is Gordon Shedden's view, looking at the back of his teammate Aaron Taylor-Smith. The fastest lap is still Lewis Selby's, incidentally, so Lewis could well be on for the bonus point here as Shedden closes on the ATS going up towards McLean's corner. Aaron Taylor-Smith hangs on to 9th place. Into the braking zone they go. Sorry, 10th place now, because Osborne's wriggled past him. Another slide by Gordon Shedden.
Yeah, and that's just not what he wanted at all. Smiley's now got through on the inside. Swap that to the outside of Aaron Taylor-Smith. And a touch as they get in the braking area. Shedden will try and cut back. Through the gravel goes Smiley. He'll be slow off the corner.
Life is never dull when Chris Smiley is involved in a battle. Over the timing line he goes, the Northern Irish driver looking to try to fight back as Sutton leads. The light flashing Ricky Collard in 2nd place. Tom Ingram's now done the fastest lap of the race as he tries to catch Aidan Moffat. Look in the background, there they are for 4th. Look, the Hyundai almost up with the Audi of Aidan Moffat. So Ingram, quickest man in the race right now, and we are currently on lap 11 of 18.
Yeah, not surprising for Ingram. Very fast car, soft tyres, lots of boost, clear track in front of him.
Chris Smiley ahead of Aaron Taylor-Smith now, so Northern Irish driver ahead of the driver from Error, heading up towards Coppice. They will go shortly, but meanwhile Ingram, having got himself further up the order on the attack, the next target is Moffat for 4th place, and remember he's doing this from 21st on the grid. To the braking zone they come then. The race leader is Ash Sutton. He's got a tiny margin over Collard, but it is a margin. And Ricky, 5 laps of boost. Ash still has 1 to use at the very end if he needs it. This is Ingram lining up to have a go against Moffat, who makes that Audi very wide, but Ingram keeps on coming. This, remember, for 4th place. Up the inside goes the Hyundai. And for Team Virtue, Tom Ingram goes ahead of the LKQ Power Maxed Audi.
Right, up to 4th place goes Ingram. Now he wants a podium, although Moffat is fighting back. But I think who's going to be bravest? It's definitely Ingram. Big chunk of the inside of trainers, but the car has enough grip and stability to hang on.
Does indeed then, as they again make that run towards McLean's corner. Now look at this, Sutton's got a bit of an advantage because Collard is having to go defensive against Camish. That means he's taking the slower lines. That enables Ash to escape. This is exactly what Napa Racing wanted.
Yeah, very much so. I'm not sure. I mean, Ricky has got more laps of boost, but he maybe should have used it as while he was still on the back of Sutton to try and get back past him. Now he's going to have to use it to defend from Sutton, and that's going to clear the path for Sutton to take another victory.
Yeah, he had one earlier on in the day, remember, to make it a 48th in his career. We've had first victories for the Mercedes yesterday, for the new Audi, for the new booted Focus. We were looking for another first, and maybe Ricky Collard could have delivered that by having his first win. It doesn't look as though it's going to happen, as Camish, right there behind him, helps him around Redgate, and now goes to the inside. Dan on a mission. Another very, very fast driver in the British Touring Car Championship is Dan Camish. Rarely makes a mistake, and he's about to make that move for second. Nicely done.
They're going toe-to-toe with Ricky Collard down the curves. He's always high in the mouth stuff. Look how Ricky cuts back. He's on the boost this lap. Camish hasn't got any boost to use himself, and it won't be over because I think Ricky will have an absolute stonking speed down the next straight.
But while they're playing, look what's happening behind. Here comes Tom Ingram. He's almost with them. Camish up the inside, and if they're not careful, he's going to get up the inside and have a go for second place on the way to the chicane. Ingram is fourth. He's nearly third. Here they come. Three of them for second place. It's Camish versus Collard. Ricky goes back ahead. Ingram tries to work out which way to go into the braking zone. He doesn't chance his arm around the outside of Camish there, but it's game on down to Redgate. Ingram on the power, on the boost, level with Camish, who's stuck behind Collard. Over the line they come. Collard is still second, as now Sutton's got 3 seconds in hand up front. Ingram to the outside line into the corner, tries to go all the way around the outside of Dan Cam, goes a little bit wide. Camish comes up the inside of Collard. Fantastic racing.
Oh, this is brilliant, so close. Camish is really fighting hard with zero boost to use, but some great battles and some good placement of the cars by all three drivers.
And Ricky looks like he's not been away. So despite the fact it's been a couple of seasons away in GT racing since we last had him in touring cars, he is doing a great job. And now Ingram is up into third place. Well, we talked about the podium. He's there because he's ahead of Dan Camish. And now Ricky Collard, his teammate, is the next target.
Well, it's just, I mean, honestly, the boost is so powerful. Ingram nearly drove into the back of Camish, then had to drive across the grass rallycross style to find the room to get past.
So 4 laps of boost each to Collard and Ingram. I don't think team orders are going to apply at the first event of the year, are they? Coming out of the chicane over the line, Collard versus Ingram, they go through. Sutton leads the way then, and the margin that he's now got is 4.2 seconds over Collard, who now has his teammate to defend from. Ingram up the inside, full send, late on the brakes, through he goes.
Yeah, Camish looking to buy into this if there's an opportune gap on the exit, but there isn't. But Collard made his teammate work hard for it, didn't he?
He did. Well, we knew it was going to be lively with Ricky Collard up front. Could we still have him for the podium in third place? He's there at the moment. Now, Ingram is on his last warning for track limits at turn 1 at Redgate Corner. So Tom now needs to wind it back in. He's getting a driving standards flag. He's on a final warning. So Spencer Aldridge needs to be on the radio and say to Tom, right, OK, you're up to second. Now chill.
Yeah, because he's not going to probably catch catch Sutton for the win. He certainly doesn't want to risk it by getting an exclusion.
Absolutely right. So Ash Sutton looks as though he's going to win races 2 and 3 the way that he's going. And what a far cry from yesterday's race to pole, sitting in the gravel. There's second, there's third, there's fourth, there's fifth. Aidan Moffat fifth. A really good day for Aidan. In 6th place, Dexter Patterson, who's been another star of the day. Then you've got Charles Rainford. Adam Morgan is 8th. That's Chris Smiley, and he's in the top 10 as they come over the line. So Sutton the leader, Ingram second, 4 seconds between them, 3 laps to go.
Yeah. And, well, it didn't look like Ingram was taking it easy. His line into Redgate was halfway across the pit exit to widen the entrance there. So he's absolutely on the limit, but he can't afford, as you say, another track limit infringement.
Somebody else that's on a last warning is Darryl De Leon, but he got roughed up early on and is down in 15th place. Adam Morgan's coming under attack here from Sam Osborne. This is for 8th place. Sam, another driver who's got so much better with all the time he's had in the championship, winner at Silverstone last year. Chris Smiley up behind the pair of them, and Smiley is not done yet either. Chris having a go.
Yeah, he's in the fight here, definitely. I mean, Morgan, Osborne and Smiley have all got the soft tyre on, so they're very equal in terms of tyre performance, and Smiley gets his nose inside.
Don't forget Ricky Collard on that medium, Dan Camish on soft as they come into the chicane. So Ricky hanging on well on that harder tyre. Here comes Camish then. He's got no boost. This is on pure pace over the line, and he's just done it to go ahead. Dan Camish up to third place. That was a very good move.
Yeah, Ricky was a little bit wild going into the chicane and just lost a bit of momentum. It was only momentum that got Camish past on the exit.
So through Redgate comes Dexter Patterson, and Dexter 6th ahead of Charles Rainford in 7th place. Dexter's under the radar a little bit today, but he's had a brilliant day. He
really has. I think all 3 Audis and the whole Paramax crew can give themselves a big pat on the back for their performances this weekend. 3 abreast!
James Dorlin, Aaron Taylor-Smith, Gordon Shedden. James Dorlin's off the road, he's back on. Can he hang on to it? Just about. That could have been a whole lot worse.
Oh, this is a typical race 3, isn't it?
It is.
It's absolutely great. If you love touring car racing, this is great.
That was a scary moment for James Dorlin, but he's not giving up and he's fending off Darrell de Leon. So the white BMW there behind the brown trouser James Dorlin after a very scary moment, and it all began coming out of Redgate.
Yeah, on board, look, forcing the little gap. There's 3 wide. Poor James Dorlin's right in the middle, the worst place you could be. There's a touch there, that's what puts him wide.
Dan Camish, 10-second penalty for track limit offences. Dan Camish, despite all the effort he's put in, is going to tumble down the field. We start the last lap of the race. There's confirmation. Dan Camish has a 10-second time penalty.
Well, at the end of the day, it's self-induced. The drivers know exactly where the cameras are, where they can and they can't go wide. They get warnings. They've got radios from their engineers. So this is very unfortunate from points point of view from Camish, because he's driven a fine race. But unfortunately, rules is rules.
Well, he will be very nonplussed about it. That's going to give Ricky Collard a podium finish. It's going to help Aidan Moffat to get 4th as well. A little bit further back, just to update from the other car that started near the back, Dan Rowbottom 12th. Gordon Shedden's had a tough race on that medium tyre, 13th. But career win 49 beckons for Ash Sutton as he comes then now down towards the chicane. And what a start to the season it has turned out to be for him. Round 3 of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship is another Sutton success. Ash Sutton wins at Donington. Tom Ingram from 21st on the grid to 2nd, and 3rd is Dan Camish, but the penalty will drop him down behind Ricky Collard, behind Aidan Moffat, who takes 4th, Charles Rainford, who is 5th, and what about 6th? Dexter Patterson is going to go through. Chris Smiley will be 7th, Adam Morgan 8th, Sam Osborne 9th, and Dan Camish 10th.
Ugh. Well, that was a great race from a spectacle point of view, really was. Fighting race, some great performances throughout. I mean, in actual fact, Sutton never even used his Toka Turbo Boost. He had 1 lap to use, he never even needed it.
That's impressive stuff, isn't it? So, on the evidence of today, I think we're in for a pretty good season, don't you?
Definitely. Lots of fast cars and fast drivers and great overtaking. The boost is proving to be a huge factor in the overtaking, but it's making for exciting racing.
And I can't wait to see how the race to pole pans out at Brands Hatch when that boost is incorporated into qualifying and that race to pole and race 1, of course, because it'll be the same across all those 3 sessions on track. Well, I think it's safe to say everyone's had a good day at Donington in terms of watching the action. Some hard luck stories as ever. Ash Sutton, 2 wins in the 3 championship rounds ahead of Tom Ingram in 2nd place, Ricky Collard 3rd, 4th to Aidan Moffat, the winning independent, so more silverware for LKQ Euro Car Parts with Powermax Racing. Charles Rainford 5th ahead of Dexter Patterson 6th. Good drive by Chris Smiley for 7th ahead of Adam Morgan, Sam Osborne, and with his penalty Dan Camish 10th ahead of Dan Rowbottom, Gordon Shedden and Aaron Taylor-Smith. Those 2 cars have been inseparable all day. Darrell de Leon 14th, and James Dorlin takes the last point ahead of Max Buxton, then Lewis Selby and Nick Hamilton from the pits. Mikey Doble had problems, there was a lap down. We lost Josh Cook and we also lost Tom Chilton. So, what does all that do to the championship? Answer, Ash Sutton. 18 points clear at the end of the day from Charles Rainford, and Aidan Moffat 3rd ahead of Dan Camish and Gordon Shedden. Dexter Patterson 6th. Mikey Doble, a race winner, 7th. Tom Ingram's tough day nets 8th ahead of Ricky Collard, and 10th is Adam Morgan.